This is Oilers Nation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Welcome into an all-new episode of Oilers Nation Radio. The show, as always, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. We're going to be getting into our delicious debate in just a second here. Proud to support Sports Central. 10% of all in-store sales from the box of the month go directly to Sports Central. Donate your gently used sports equipment and help kids play with Sports Central. You can also take advantage of the... What's the deal called? Why am I blanking on it?
I don't know. The ad copy hasn't been updated for years.
Someone get BM in here. He always knows.
He always does. Well, I do it all the time on ONE.
Call him on.
Take advantage of
box, the combo box,
the value
menu,
the value deal. Either way, who cares what it's called? You can add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2 with the purchase of any signature or premium box. Go to oodlenoodle.ca to find out more. That's so unlike me to not know the ad read.
It's very weird to hear you, just kind of go through it and not have it.
What?
The value menu deal.
There you go, the value menu deal. Take advantage of the value menu deal.
I said
online.
That.
Yeah. We did it. Well done.
Good job, guys. 2 delicious debates for you guys. No Bagged Milk today. He's busy being a boss somewhere. They got to do their quarterly reports and all that stuff. I don't know. I just talk hockey. So no BM today. It's just the 4 of us. And Tristan hitting the keys behind the scenes. We'll get his score prediction later. He was the closest out of all of us to nailing a score prediction last week.
Damn.
But no one actually hit. 2 delicious debates for you guys. One of them's non-hockey. Masters week, big in my life. Oof. I am consuming nothing but golf content right now.
It's because the Jays aren't very good.
Well, and the Jays stink. But like Masters week every year is like a big deal in my household. I wager more than I wager any other week of the year. I carry around my iPad like a toddler with the Masters app and all my players loaded into it. Outside of hockey, if there was one thing in the sports world that I could like participate in, it would play around at Augusta. That's like I'll never realize that dream, but that's my biggest pipe dream. Do you guys have one? Play in a softball game at the Rogers Center. Drive a lap at the Vegas Grand Prix or the Monaco Grand Prix. Like, do you have something? Because golf's so unique in that sense. Play a beer league game at Rogers Place with your buddies, which I've gone to do, and it was electric. But is there anything like that in the sporting landscape where you're like, damn, I want to try that one day? Ski at the Olympics?
It's a really good question.
Because golf's so unique, right? Because it's so relatable and playable. Like
we can do that on a Tuesday. Like it doesn't have to be in the middle of the tournament. Like if you want the Masters, you can compare it to like the Super Bowl, but all of a sudden you can't play in the Super Bowl because it's the one time. So maybe you can like. I've always said if I had like the Make-A-Wish situation, I want to walk out with the team in a playoff game. Like I want to be standing around, you feel all the energy coming down the hallway.
And like be in the room when the doors close and you feel the building shaking.
I walk out with them and, just kind of like, and don't go first. Like this isn't about me. I just want to be somewhere in the middle and kind of feel the whole energy around. But when you bring it up that way, the Masters, like playing around at Augusta would be insane.
Because you're a golfer too. So like, that would line up. Can you think of anything, Dan? Because you're not like a big golfer, obviously.
I'm not a big golfer. I do love curling, and my mind did go right to the Olympics and like being on the ice for a final. Same kind of idea as you, Rick, where it's like you want to walk out of the tunnel and just kind of feel that energy. And yes, I could be a coach.
You could go sit at that little table.
I would the extra come in for like a couple ends at the end.
They do that in the Olympics sometimes.
If there's injuries and such, you can. I mean, like it has to be an injury, so the person just pulls up limp, and then the extra can go in. But I like the question. I think golf is like the home of that, just because you have different tournaments that you could kind of lay down as your one. Would you want to see a live golf tournament?
Been there, done that
event.
I've seen a PGA event, so I don't think I have the itch to go see a live event.
Or what about the Tiger? The
TGL?
Yeah, the TGL.
That seems weird.
Live was cool because there was nobody there, so you literally got to stand like you're right up there. Like Bryson walked right past me, like I am to you. And there was nobody golfing with Phil. Like the only people walking with Phil was like his wife. So we were right there. And then like the guy before him put one into the trees. So they had to look for it a bit. And Phil, he's old, so he had to get the bands out, and like he's like waiting 4 minutes. He's got to get the bands out and keep the body like limber and keep going. It was interesting.
Liam, you got anything that comes to mind?
Where I would like to play or do or something like that.
Like, I'm a big baseball guy too. So if you were like, Tyler, we rented out the Rogers Center for a softball game with you and your buddies, that would be like electric.
Home run derby.
Yeah, like anything like that would be so much fun.
I think playing at Wembley would be cool.
Yeah.
Where England play. That'd probably be one. I think just go in there would be cool.
Get your crew together.
Yeah, Augusta's probably the one, though, to be honest. It's the one place I'd like to go. I'm not a very good golfer.
That's fine.
I'd like to go and see if I could hit 200. Or 9.
I was going to say, I wonder if I could hit 200.
Oh, you would hit 200. I think.
Because they've always said, like, if you start me off on every hole on the furthest from the hole on the green.
Yeah. An amateur golfer wouldn't win the Masters if you started them on the green.
Could I shoot a 72?
Just from the edge of the green, just putting? Yeah, I bet you could. Because you would have a couple blow up holes for sure, but the par fives, there's 4 par fives, you would eagle one of them.
You'd have to get, you get
3 putts.
But if you actually played Sunday pins on, say, Monday.
Yeah.
200 might not be ridiculous.
Now you're talking about playing the full course that day?
Full course.
From the tips? Like, you're not giving me,
you can play the whites at that point, man.
Yeah, I think you and I, like, again, we're like...
Because if I just shot double, that's 140.
Yeah, that's what I think you'd shoot.
And then you got to give yourself a couple extras because there's going to be some threes where you're more than a 6.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I think the over-under, like... And I mean, we're both...
Set your over-under right now for
we're
Augusta.
both single-digit handicaps, right?
Yeah, I can get... Now I'm in the 8 or low mid-80s. Yeah.
Like, I'm a 7. I would set my over-under at like 129.5. Now, granted, I'm also the guy who thought he could get a hole-in-one in 24 hours. So maybe that number is a little low. But, like, you're right. You'd have some 6s and some 8s, like plenty of them. But
we've seen professionals shoot double digits on some of these holes.
Yeah.
You can have a blow-up hole.
You could. Yeah, I'll set my over-under at 134.5.
Oh, I wish we could somehow figure this out. That would be insane.
Maybe one day. Dare to dream, Rick.
I'm dreaming right now.
All right. Let's get to the actual hockey debate I had. And this stems from something Liam and I were talking about before the show. Chris Knobloch kind of came out and threw cold water on, like, how bad does the team want to win the division, right? The streak, all of that stuff. And he was like, not a big deal for us. Scale of 1 to 10, how much importance do you put on winning the division this year? 10 being very important, 1 obviously being not important at all.
I say it's like a 7.5 to an 8 for me, just because the opportunity is there. Mm-hmm. It's the end of the season. This team has not strung together long stretches of positive hockey this year. So why not now? Why not when you have the opportunity on the line? We talk about teams getting hot right before the playoffs. Why not have the Edmonton Oilers be one of those?
Personally, I would love it. I'll put a 10 on that, but it's probably because I have a little bit of a bet going on. But if I look at it from the team aspect, I think it's like a 5.5. Like, it's not that big of a deal. That's why you didn't see Hyman playing. I don't know if you'll see Hyman play for the next couple.
He's not on the trip.
If there's a lingering issue,
fix it.
I don't care about winning the division. I want to be ready for game 1 of the playoffs. So the team, I think it's like 5. It's not very big at all. Personally, I want it, though.
Yeah, I don't think the team cares that much. I think if it's right there, like if they would really take it, and I guess it kind of is. But I think the Hyman thing is a good layer of it. Like you said, if he was with the playoffs, he'd be playing. I also think from a fan side, it should be important. Like, I think the team...
And they should have different points of view, though.
Yeah, they should, but like you should want your team to win. Like, I think that the idea of, like, yes, wherever the others play, like, it's whatever. Like, they've proven it before, and that's great. But also, too, I think that's something you should want to give your fans, and you should always strive for greatness as teams. Like, and the others haven't won a division in however many years it is. I believe it's actually... let me word this. It's the longest streak in North American sports currently from a team that has won the division before.
So, like, exclude all the teams who've never won their division.
I believe the Oilers have the longest streak.
I definitely know they're the longest. I didn't know there was that bit of a asterisk to it, but it makes sense.
Because there's some teams who have just never won.
Yeah, and
so
that doesn't...
technically
They don't
not
count
on
that.
a streak.
Yeah.
They're just not good enough.
Yeah,
So, that's what I
like
think.
the team we're playing tonight. Terrible. Could never win their division.
Technically, yes.
Have never won their division their entire career.
Because technically they aren't Arizona.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no, definitely not.
I'm glad they did that with Utah.
Yeah.
It was stupid that they didn't do it with Winnipeg.
Yeah, because now you can have all your own franchise records.
Yeah,
and like Utah's never beaten in the Oilers in franchise history. You can say that without being like, well, technically when they were the Coyotes.
And there's all this stupid stuff of like, technically Teemu Selanne is in like the Phoenix Coyotes history books, and it's like, well, no, he's not. He never played for them.
Well, and it's even further confusing for the Winnipeg Jets franchise because they have to asterisk themselves with a bunch of Thrashers crap and then they're like, we're the Jets 2.0, so we don't include 1.0. It's a mess.
I do think the Jets have kind of like, it's not official in the record books, which like the league could very easily fix if they wanted to. But when the Jets do things like in franchise history, they include Jets 1.0 now.
That's fair. Yeah,
but the league doesn't, which is odd. When they could fix it and like no one would ever be like, oh boy, but
I also think that, and you can't quote me on this because it's been a few years since I've been in Winnipeg, but I'm pretty sure they still have like plans for an alumni room, but they're still confused as to who they have to include in their alumni room. Yeah. I've been in the room. It's all like set up and there is some Thrasher stuff on the walls, but again, they can't release it because it's confusing and it's a mess for them.
It is interesting because you would essentially, by doing that, almost eliminate the Thrashers in all of this. And like, where do you then put the Thrashers? I would just say the Hall of Fame.
Like the Thrashers are just the Thrashers would be my answer to that. But
if Atlanta gets their franchise back, then do they want those
three-way trade? If the next if the next round of expansion is Phoenix and Atlanta again, we're all square.
But then what do you do with the Atlanta Flames?
Never existed.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's just so dumb. Like when you move cities, your history should just be
done with that franchise.
Like what they're doing with Phoenix now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on pause.
Yes, and that is the way it should be done.
We're on a break. Like every healthy relationship, sometimes you just need a break.
I imagine that is the standard going forward for the NHL.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
We had what's his name? Cole Badgley.
Cole Bagley from Utah.
He made a funny remark today, which wasn't meant to be a joke, but it's funny the way you think about it. He's like, yeah, Dylan Guenther is probably going to be Utah's all-time leading goal scorer at one point. And he's like 24.
Is he not already?
I was just pulling that up to look.
Close.
No, it's... he currently is.
Yeah.
He's currently their all-time... I wasn't sure if Keller had a few more.
Well, it's
he's their all-time... Keller's their all-time points leader.
Yeah. It's like 20 years from now, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's like Edmonton, you look at all of our retired numbers. It's Grant Fuhrer, it's Wayne Gretzky, it's Jarry Curry, and it's Al Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to explain who Al Hamilton was and the history behind the Alberta Oilers and the connection there. But again, those are just like stories that kind of carry on as the team goes
on. So what was your number 1 through 10 on how much you care about the division?
How much do I care?
Yeah.
10.
How much does the team care?
5.
That's
I think they'll be happy to win it, but I don't think they're like, we have to win. I think they're just like, we got to win these games in front of us.
Priorities are health over division. And I do think if you framed it to the team as how much do you care about home ice advantage, because if you win the division, we're no longer talking about home ice just in round 1. We're talking about it in round 2 as well. Not that you're going to get it in round 3 no matter what, but
their complete focus is to win the last game of the year.
Against Vancouver on Thursday?
No. It's
last game of their year.
Of their year. Yeah, I agree. And last year, I mean, I also think there's a case with a team like the Oilers that the proof is in the last 2 runs, but like last year they won 3 straight rounds without having home ice advantage in any of them. And do you buy anything into, as much as like Liam, you talked today on ONE about how Game 7, why would you not want that in Edmonton? Mm-hmm. I also think we've seen a couple examples over the years of how valuable having Game 6 in Edmonton's been.
Yeah, I think playing games in Edmonton is just valuable.
Right.
All. But like, it's funny, like, there's a couple of things I'm thinking about right now. One, the only series they lost last year was the one, ironically, they had home ice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the Oilers also had that crazy run, which ended last year, that they just would never win game 1s, no matter where it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that was, I think I went dated all the way back to 06. And I know they obviously didn't play every year, but it's just like, sometimes we put a lot of weight into it, and at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter that much.
Because I do think
it's just important to fans, I think.
There's a case of like, yeah, it's great to start the series in your home barn.
Yeah.
That also puts a ton of pressure on you to win 2 games.
Yeah, because what was it against the Ducks?
In 06?
No, in 2017. Maybe that's when the streak.
They won the first 2 on the
First 2
road.
on the road, then lost the next 2 at home, I think.
Yeah.
Or whenever it ended up being.
They lost,
So
yeah.
that must have been the last time they won a game 1 was that series, not the 06 Cup Ducks game. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think they'll finish second.
I still think they finish first. I think you can win tonight. I think you can win tomorrow with the team you have right now. Colorado is coming up, but I think Colorado is going to be a bit of a. They're going to be resting a lot of their players. Cale Makar's dropped already. You know, he's out for the regular season, I'm pretty sure. You're not going to want to take a chance with a couple other guys because they're going to be extra important if he's not 100%. LA on Saturday, we'll see what they are, but I think this team can beat LA if they just lock it down and play properly.
I think they're going to do it because the rest of the division is backing its way out of it. We're all very allergic to winning this year, so.
I just think eventually Anaheim is going to start winning games again.
You believe?
Well, there's only a couple more.
I know there's only a few left, and Edmonton's obviously first right now, but...
And Vegas has been allergic to winning, too. Like, they have been snatching defeat from victory. Yeah, exactly. The one night.
Who did they play
Rasmus
tonight?
Henderson.
Vegas? Could be anyone.
I don't know.
Vegas plays Vancouver. Nashville plays LA.
Yeah.
No, so that'll be a shootout.
Well, yeah, it's going to overtime for sure. We can keep talking about that in a bit. But yeah, I think they would like it for the home ice. Obviously, they don't care about the streak and all of that stuff. I'm sure they don't care to put a division banner up at Rogers Place next year. Yeah. But I think they would care for home ice. The point I brought up with Landon Ferraro today, too, was like veteran team, banged up, all that stuff. How important is it to have an extra day at home between the regular season and the playoffs? Right? Like if Saturday is a day where you just go to the rink for 4 hours, then you go back home and keep resting, versus Saturday is a day where you skate in the morning, get on a plane, fly to Utah, all that stuff. Or not, it wouldn't be Utah. I suppose it'd be Anaheim or Vegas. Like how much more is...
Vegas is going to feel like a home. It will be rather friendly in Vegas anyways for the Edmonton Oilers.
You think?
Yeah,
we
I'm guaranteed
travel well. Although traveling to the
well.
States, like Oilers fans still moved well for our most recent trip, but it wasn't the same.
Not the same, but I mean, you get a playoff game. It'll be a little bit different.
Interesting.
All right, there you go. That was your delicious debate for our friends over at Oodle Noodle. A couple of delicious debates for everybody. Couple of pieces of news to get to. The news is brought to you by Swiss Donair, home of the old school Donair, with options if you want some flair. Open for 25 years and now open 7 days a week. The pride of the North Side, Swiss Donair is great for your events at home or the office. Check out their location at 8308 144th Ave Northwest or order online at swissdonair.com. First up, tonight against Utah. Let's dig into that matchup a little bit. As we alluded to, Edmonton never lost to Utah in the history of their franchise. A perfect 5-0, including a couple of wins already under their belt this season. One just a couple of weeks ago when Tristan Jarry delivered one of his best games as an Edmonton Oiler. Jarry gets the start again tonight. Right or wrong call, Dan?
You got to get both of these goalies going, and I'm okay with Jarry at this point. I think that is a little bit more of a signal to the delicious debate earlier that perhaps it isn't as high of a priority to win this division, but I'm okay with Pickard getting the opportunity to continue to keep it kind of on the rails here.
Well, you have back-to-back games, so you had to play one of them.
Yeah, you would have had to split it either tonight or San Jose.
And I've said it all year, whether people agree with me or not, but I think it's more important that the team plays well in front of the goaltender. And I think Jarry's been better his last 2 or 3 starts now. But yeah, no, it all comes down to the team playing properly in front of them. It's what Kapanen said the other day when this team's been underachieving the majority of the year. That's the way it is. That's what it's been.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
very frustrating, but true.
If you were to play Utah in the first round, that means they wouldn't have faced. I know I used to play for them, but like you wouldn't have faced Connor Ingram all season if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
There's some strategy there.
I also think, to Rick's point, giving Jarry the game where the team in front should be fresher and hopefully better should help keep Jarry's confidence up. Like, if Ingram goes into San Jose and they play shitty in front of him and they lose 4-3, I don't think Connor Ingram's going to be sitting there if he gives up 4 goals on 22 shots and be like, well, I'm fucked. I've lost my game. Jarry's confidence can maybe waver a bit right now. And there is something, as much as Ingram is going to be the guy night one of the playoffs, if halfway through round 1 or halfway through round 2 or whatever it is, if you need to go to Jarry at some point, you don't want to throw him in and be like, your last 2 regular season starts, you gave up 6 goals in each game. Like, you want Jarry to have some confidence so that if you do go to him in the playoffs, he goes, all right, like, my game's in a good spot still.
Wouldn't you say San Jose has more elite offense than Utah as well?
No.
Utah scores a lot.
I think San Jose has 2 players.
That is correct.
I would say elite players, where I would say Utah, Gunther, Cooley, and Keller are all better. Like, not better, but like...
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I was just going to say, like, you're trying to... You protect them a little bit from that San Jose team that can just kind of go off. And I don't think I really see that out of the Utah.
5-on-5 goals per 60 this year. Utah ranks 6th and San Jose ranks 17th. Over their last 10 games looking at 5-on-5 goals per 60, Utah is 2nd in the NHL while the San Jose Sharks are 30th in the league. So 5-on-5 offense definitely favors the Utah Mammoth. 1.3 more goals per 60 at 5-on-5 over the course of their last 10 games. So in that sense, maybe you could have looked at San Jose and been like, oh, shitty offense. Let's just throw Jarry in there, whatever. And also, the Sharks did beat Ingram back at Brunch for Ben a few weeks ago on that Saturday matinee game, but I think it's fine. Oilers also going to welcome Colton Doc back into the lineup, activated him off LTIR over the weekend. He is expected to take Josh Szymanski's place in the bottom 6. Szymanski had a bit of a rough game against Vegas, but granted, who had a good game against Vegas would be my follow-up to that. But Rick, you good with Szymanski taking a seat for a night?
Yeah, I don't mind it. He's still young, so you get a time to sit upstairs and watch for a little bit. It's never really hurt anybody. I just sit back and I hope Dach is fully healthy and there's no flare-ups or anything like that. Because I like him as a player, and I just think with, it's probably a bit of like a core injury he's got that.
The fact it flared up or whatever they said. Yeah,
like that stuff can linger, and it can linger for a while, unfortunately. So let's just hope he's fully ready to go.
I think he's a good player to have back in the lineup. I also think like Szymanski being out isn't such a bad thing too. I think there's just going to be rotation in the bottom 6 because you have like 7 or 8 guys that are probably good enough to play right now, and people are upset that Henrique didn't come out of the lineup. I think they're trying to get Henrique going again.
Yeah. I mean, you could really use that.
I think they recognize Henrique at his best, kind of like we saw against Chicago. Henrique at his best is probably still better than Szymanski at his best.
Offensively, for sure. Yeah,
and PK.
Yeah. I think obviously Josh is faster.
Yeah.
But I think just the veteran intelligence is probably a little bit higher in a guy like Henrique who's already been there. And like I said, it doesn't kill you to go watch a game, especially at the age of Szymanski, right?
Correct. And he's played 20 games this year, which is crazy.
Man. Yeah, I think when you look at the team, you got Lazar coming back from injury fairly recently. Was that not like the last 3 or 4 games? Yeah. And then you've got Max Jones, who has not drawn in regularly, not to the 20 game mark. That's for darn sure. Like, I mean, maybe Frederick, but again, that's the same situation where you're trying to get the guy going and you want to keep him fired up. So I could there's merit to saying any of the other guys that get sat, but again, like Rick said, it's one fucking game. Like we're not talking about benching the guy forever. Like he's going to be just
fine. With 5 games to go in the season, like it's like, okay, take a deep breath here because in fucking 10 days, it's just about to get fucking really weird for you.
Yep. Yeah. I don't mind. And Knobloch spoke about that after I think it was after the Seattle game when they asked him like, how difficult was it to take a guy like Curtis Lazar, I think it was, out of the lineup? And Knobloch kind of said, he's like, it's difficult to take any one of these guys out of the lineup because they're all playing pretty good. Like, you don't want to take Max Jones out. You don't want to take Curtis Lazar out. When a guy has a quote-unquote bad game like Szymanski did the other day, and that's not like overly derogatory. He's going to have bad games in his NHL career. Like, it happens. Like, I criticized him on that one goal against, and someone tweeted me. I was like, your analysis is way off. That's not on him. And I'm like, well, no, he made a bad read. Like, you can say it is what it is while still saying you like the player. Yeah. But Knobloch talked about how they want to have a bit of a rotation. Yeah. So I think what you're going to see is, I think next week when they play that game against Vancouver, Henrique's probably not playing that game. And I think you could see, again, Lazar will slide in and out. I think you could see Max Jones miss a game coming up here, although he's maybe been too good to justify taking out of the lineup. But you probably want to give everybody in that bottom 6 at least, like even the Lazars of the world, at least 2 more games. Because again, similar to the Jarry conversation, if you have to point to them halfway through round 1, you don't want them to be like, I haven't played hockey in a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to get everyone rolling.
Yeah.
I'm just glad there was I saw lineups the other day where it was like Dickinson was the second line center. I think Nuge is up on the left wing. I can't find it now, so luckily it's gone. But I was going to say, like, that point, that's when I'd put Henrique there. Mm-hmm. If you need someone to fill a hole, Henrique go have an opportunity, find a couple offensive chances, maybe you can find something. Don't really need that out of Dickinson.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
The other name that's kind of just lingering right now is a player the Oilers signed over the last week, and that's Owen Michaels. Right shot forward, spent the last 3 years with Western Michigan University, had some pretty good numbers, captained the team when they won the Frozen Four, I believe, right, Liam?
Yeah, he was when they won the whole thing.
Yeah, when they won the whole thing. So he's put together a couple of really good seasons at Western Michigan. He is signed to an ELC. He's ineligible to play in Bakersfield because he wasn't on their roster at the trade deadline, but he is eligible to play NHL games this season. Do you think we'll see Owen Michaels in the lineup at some point? Maybe they give him that last game against Vancouver if there's nothing up for grabs.
I will say yes, optimistically, choosing to believe that those final 2 games essentially mean
We're going to win the next 3, so yeah.
yes. So I'll say that side of things. Hopefully, it'd be good for him.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's the one who he could only sign for 1 year. No, they expect him to sign this summer, right?
Yeah, it was
Like, we'll sign you now for the last, cup of coffee, but the whole point of this is to get you on our books because we want you here for next year.
exactly.
Yeah.
He'll be a perfectly fine professional athlete.
Same with the Russian guy.
I think he will be slightly above average professional athlete. That's my
The Owen Michaels report that we got from Stephen Ellis was pretty similar to our Quinn Hudson one.
Yeah, I think Hudson can score more.
Yep, and he
And
did
will
score more, right?
Interesting layer on Owen Michaels is that he was on the Dubuque Fighting Saints when Kelly Larson, who's the Oilers' director of senior development, I think, was the general manager of that team. So there's a history there. And
There's a
he
connection,
was,
yeah.
He was the captain of the Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Incredible.
They were a great story last year, too. The other name, obviously, Maxim Beryozkin. Reports are he's going to sign a 1-year deal this summer and finally come over from Russia. He spent, 5 years in the KHL?
Yeah, I believe.
How many post-draft? This is like his next season would be his draft plus 3,
He was
correct?
drafted in 2020.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's played the
Can't
last.
count that high.
Yeah, he's 24 years old. This year with Locomotive, he had 32 points in 64 games, which is actually lower than he had last year when he had 15 goals and 42 points in 66 games. Another 14 points in 21 playoff games. The scouting reports on him are good, and I am curious, just because I obviously don't watch KHL games, why his numbers kind of dipped this year.
Bob Hartley.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
People just think Bob
Well,
Hartley
he's
hater.
just like not offensive guy. So I
Same
think-
Hartley we had in the NHL a decade ago.
So yeah, that's kind of a big reason. I think anyway from the stuff I've seen. But also too, like I don't think he's like an offensive dude.
Yeah.
Like not Hartley. Burris.
No, I think the guys he kind of follow, like the Spencer Pompoy or whatever his name
Pomedy,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Bruce. I think they had him pegged as like a middle 6 type of player.
Yeah, if you compare it to a guy like Anton Slepyshev, the 2 years before Slepyshev came over, which those would have been his 2013 for a guy born in 94, that would have been his 19-year-old season, right? His 19 and 20-year-old seasons in Russia, 25 points in 58 games, 14 points in 47 games. So Beryozkin has had better numbers than a guy like Slepyshev had in Russia. Granted, Beryozkin is coming over much older than Slep was.
We have a very interesting looking team this summer.
Well, there's just a lot of guys who, again, they're stocking the cupboards, which I love. But even Frank said the Oilers are betting odds favorites to land Vit Oswald from Red Bull Munich in the German Elite League.
There's another guy out there too that we're supposed to be in the hunt with a couple other teams for.
Belarusian player.
Something like that, yeah.
And this Vit Oswald has like way better numbers than Szymanski did in the DEL. So that's another interesting fit. You wonder if Leon's maybe doing a little recruiting there for the Oil again.
That's what he was doing over there a little while ago.
Yeah, he's like, no, that has nothing to do with my knee.
Boys, I need some time off here. I got to go do some scouting. All right, gotcha.
So yeah, they signed Owen Michaels. They're going to sign Maxim Beryozkin. They might sign Vit Oswald. That's how you stock the cupboards if you're going to be a team that trades all your first round picks. Pretty simple. Yep. You got to find these guys. You got to fill the bottom of your lineup with somebody.
We'll talk more about them in the summer because I'd be curious to see where they get penciled in as like, this is where we think they're going to play. They could rise to this, and if they're bottom end, they'll be here.
There was something else along those lines too. Talk about Oswald, talk about Michaels, Beryozkin. I had a point, now I'm blanking on it, and that's life. maybe we'll just move on from this point. Anything else on that?
That's life.
Nothing else from me, dog.
That's okay. The other kind of thing I had, you guys talked about it, a couple of big games around the Western Conference. Tonight, Nashville's taking on Anaheim. They lost to LA last night. The Kings right now hold on to the 8th seed in the West. The Predators are a point back. The Sharks are 2 back of LA and 1 back of Nashville, but have a game in hand on both and would own the tiebreaker over the Los Angeles Kings, which means San Jose is technically in the driver's seat heading down the stretch. Not so much of a prediction, but more of a preference. Winnipeg is kind of lingering, but not really. Winnipeg would probably have to win out if they wanted to get that spot. But if you had to pick between LA, Nashville, and San Jose, who would you like to see get in?
San Jose. The vibes.
I think I would probably just go with Nashville. I know that we do struggle with Saros from time to time, but we have the mayor as well. So yeah, I think I'm going Nashville.
Yeah, same here.
Then they have a couple.
Also, you said earlier the Nashville plays the Kings, or they play the Ducks tonight.
Yeah,
play the Ducks tonight.
They played the Kings last night, and they lost in a shootout. So yeah, I go San Jose.
I'm going Nashville.
Nashville. I just think, is Nashville, Colorado a fun series to watch just as a pure hockey fan in round 1, or is Celebrini versus McKinnon got a bit more juice to it?
A lot of stars in that series, though.
Stamkos and
Yossi.
Yeah.
Not Sorokin. What's that guy's name?
Philippe Forsberg.
Oh, yeah. Him.
Saros.
The other guy. Yeah, Saros.
George.
Roman Turek.
He's still kicking?
Catches with his right hand. We screw us up. We can never score on those.
You're thinking
goalies.
Chicago
Vesa
officially
Toskala.
eliminated yesterday, too, I believe. Farewell. Apparently, Bedard's leaving. As if he did not see this coming. That shit's so dumb.
There's people in our YouTube chat like, how long is Bedard gonna put up with
He's
Chicago?
been there for 3 years.
Yeah, and
What do you mean put up? The team was ass, and he was the first piece.
Yeah.
I just don't understand those people. He had a good season. They were doing well. He got injured. They got bad. Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy for them.
And they also have a bazillion young players.
So many players, and they're pushing them into the team.
They're gonna go get Brady Tkachuk this summer, and next year they'll be everyone's sexy pick to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and they'll miss by 20 points, and then I'll ask the question.
Fun fact about the LA Kings: they are one of 2 teams in the NHL who are yet to win 20 regulation games this year. It's them and Vancouver. Everyone else.
And what's the point differential between Vancouver and the next closest team?
18.
Ouch.
Jesus.
It's the craziest too. The stats there are the Utah's shootout record, which is 0-0.
Oh yeah, they
haven't had
had
a shootout, and then Anaheim's right above that.
8-0.
Yeah, so no shootouts in the playoffs. Bad news for the Ducks. Good news for the Mammoth. They have never had to get there.
Yeah, 9 overtime wins for Utah though. By the way, this year, LA has as many. Just wins in the win column. LA has as many wins this year as the Calgary Flames, and yet they're in a playoff spot. And Calgary's going to be a lottery team.
So pathetic. The loser point is awful.
It's not a loser point though. So they had it there
Participation
because
point.
a trillion years ago, if you play 60 minutes and you were tied, you got a point. That's what it's there for. That's why it's there. Is because if you played 60 minutes in 1956 and you got through 60 minutes, you got a point. That's what ties were. I understand what everybody's saying now, and even I'm at the point where you might it's such a big change in my mind. That's 3, 2, changing 1? the point system is such a crazy thing to do, because I can't think of anybody who has any other sport that's done it.
But I think that's the scaling of the teams. The scaling of the teams. When you add more and more teams, I think that's where a league has to kind of adjust, right, and reformat.
I just want to see more value on teams who can win in regulation.
As a team that we're in a situation to win more in regulation than we were before, then yeah, I agree with you. But 10 years ago, when we needed 65 minutes to find a point, and I wanted to keep it the way it is.
But I would just say then you're not good enough, and you don't even deserve a point for losing in overtime.
You're not losing.
Yes,
you got through 60 minutes.
No.
Before you even say lose or win, you got through 60 minutes.
But you didn't win.
No.
That's true, but you got the point.
Winning, someone is
you got
losing.
the point after the 60th minute. You didn't get the point after the 60th minute plus the time it took for the other guys to score.
Just end the game after 60 then.
I'm not against going back to ties. I'm not against going back to ties.
I'm not against it
but
either.
I love 3-on-3.
Because of
The
we have
3-2-1 system is objectively the right way to do it, because then every game is worth 3 points. Like, what load of bullshit is it if you're San Jose last night and you're like, well, I did my job and I won my hockey game in regulation. I got 2 points. Okay, Nashville dragged it to a shootout and they get a point for that. Why is that worth half as much as me going out and beating the team I played?
I don't argue against it. My biggest thing is it just feels like it's a massive change, especially when you look backwards in time. You're going to have teams like the Edmonton Oilers are the only team scoring goals. Never mind, that won't affect this. But in terms of like points, teams who have the most amount of points ever, that's all like that. Those history books are going to get
skewed.
Yeah.
Which
That's
they
life.
arguably already are. Because those
82
previous books, there's 82 games.
We're going
there's
up to
more
84
teams,
games
there's-
next year.
Yeah,
Next
we're
year's
going
the
up next-
perfect time to do it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because then you could do like in the 82 game era this.
Yep.
And now we're in the 84 game era. We're
that's-
about to be in the 34 team era in a few years.
Yeah. Then I think you 1 point, then you can make a couple changes then if you're going to.
Yeah. All right. There you go. The news for our friends at Swiss Donaire. Liam, y'all ready for this? Tenable.
I'm ready. The question is, are you?
Yes. Tennable is brought to you by our Nation Playoff Draft. It is coming up on Friday, April 17th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. You only have a few more days if you want to grab one of the final teams that we have. Bring your crew. Entry is $1,000. That gets you a table of 8 at the event. So we're talking $125 for you, $125 for each of your friends if you're bringing them. It gets you a full table, a fully catered meal, your first drink on us, and you're going to help us raise some money for Kids Sport. Again, proceeds going to Kids Sport, so it's all for a good cause. And then you also have a chance at drafting a team that could win you the $2,500 cash prize and nation glory. Again, all in support of Kids Sport in Edmonton. Ryder, Lisa, myself, Liam. Although Liam's already been claimed as one team's GM.
Oh, thank goodness.
One team entered a table. They're like, we can only bring 7 people. Can we hire Liam as our fantasy draft GM to sit at our table?
Which is good because I just not the host.
So I'm going to offer.
Host guy.
Yeah, I might offer up myself too. If you're listening to
is
this,
he dropping the host mic? Because I don't think you're going to do both.
Hopefully not.
There's some behind the scenes things
Yeah.
you're going to see that you shouldn't see as a GM.
if you can only get like 7 people to your table or 6 people to your table for $1,000, reach out to us and maybe we'll appoint someone from Nation HQ to come be your GM.
Wow.
I think it's a good idea.
Huge.
Not bad.
Liam, do we need the whiteboards?
You can grab one.
I'll grab the whiteboards while you explain what today's
Visual.
Tenable is.
Visual works.
Today's Tenable. The Oilers are playing the Utah Mammoth. In honor of that,
2 tusks.
we will be naming the 10 newest teams to the NHL.
Oh,
Well, this isn't that bad.
this should be light work.
I will say one thing.
Okay.
As I got towards the end, there was obviously a part in NHL history where there was a bunch of teams coming in at once. On one of them,
And
if
one of the
you
teams
name
that
one of those teams, that's the correct answer.
Excellent.
So I won't screw you guys over by being like, oh, that was the 11th,
Nah.
based off the hour.
Yes.
Who was announced first? So, yeah, it should be a pretty easy one, but I thought this would be.
Yeah, it's
maybe
fun.
quite. You guys actually haven't got one in a few weeks.
We appreciate
So-
you giving us a little bit of a. But we're still going to screw
Are
it up
these
somehow.
new teams or new franchises?
Both. If a new
'Kay.
team came into the league based off location, expansion, whatever.
So relocations count.
City
Yeah.
transfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Rick.
I will go with Utah.
Chosen.
Utah is number 1. I should have taken Utah off.
You
He
probably
didn't
should've.
even pause. He didn't even hesitate. He just said, "Yeah, you're on there."
I'll go next.
Sure.
Columbus.
The Blue Jackets are Tenable. They are number 6 on the list.
I was going to say,
I should have done North American sports.
you got crazy there.
Yeah, that might have been.
I wanted to take some steps before I started going back
Ah.
that far.
Yeah, North American sports would have been interesting. Anyways, Dan?
Well, now I'm scared of the answer that I was going to give, but I'm going to say it. The San Jose Sharks.
Good. They're totally good.
They should be.
They're not Tenable.
No?
Danny's out.
Shut.
What?
See, this is why I thought
That's
we had to go
actually
back.
stunning to me.
Yeah, I know. I have another team. I was trying to set a
I gave you the line.
Wow.
Vegas.
That is hilarious.
Vegas.
Vegas is Tenable, yes.
Number 3.
Yeah, they're number 3.
I'll take Winnipeg, the Jets.
Number 4, the Winnipeg Jets are Tenable. 2.0 Jets, they were calling them back in the day. San Jose, Dan.
Yep.
Seattle.
Devastated.
I think San Jose would have been like, Seattle's
11.
I think probably like 12 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one team there that's going to throw people off.
I'll go with, so we got Utah, Seattle, Vegas, Winnipeg, 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have 6. Just because I want to see where this one gets placed. Minnesota. That was Columbus's expansion brother, I think.
There are 5.
Yeah. I also just had a moment of panic where I was like, wait, were they? But they were.
The top 10 newest North American expansion teams for major men's leagues, half of them are MLS teams.
Well, we'd have to take them out and do just the big 4 because I would never get them. Okay, Rick, who do you want, Rick?
Well, if we're doing big 4, NHL's out.
Carolina.
The Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, not Tennable.
Rick, you put it all on me?
Wow.
How could you do this? All right, well.
Are they 11? Well, they can't be 11 because we have the little weird thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope this is the right list. I mean, it should be fine.
Yeah, Carolina from Hartford was like, oh, fuck, I don't know.
Wasn't that like 92? It was
The Sharks were 93, I think.
97.
97? There you go. So
Really?
The Lightning was the one I was thinking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like 10.
I remember
trying to think
seeing
your
the
list might
Sharks
be off.
opening video.
I think it might be off 2.
Okay, well, I'll go.
This list is definitely wrong.
Sweet.
But I can just slide in Carolina.
Where were they?
Let me just double check.
Well, then Dan San Jose has to be right.
This is not good.
No,
I used Wikipedia.
It's okay.
And this is why you should never trust Wikipedia.
It's true.
because I think I should have a.
But everybody loves Wikipedia.
No, San Jose isn't one.
Not one?
Still aren't.
No, they
Okay.
still aren't. They were 91.
Okay.
Let me
there
just
you go.
check something there really quick.
I said 93.
What did
Well,
I
no,
say?
Carolina?
Carolina.
Was that the other one?
Pat Falloon would have been like their
There was
first.
2. There was 2
Carolina's
at that
Tennable.
time.
What spot? Who knows?
Figure that out. But let's just spot them. 1 second.
Okay, so
They're
in the
Tenable.
right-hand
Let me just
column.
figure out where they were.
yeah,
Somewhere in the right-hand column.
so Phoenix should be Tenable because that was 96, I believe.
Holy moly. How did I mess this up?
I don't know.
I think Carolina's 9.
Okay,
Might have to restart.
Ooh, 9.
Nashville should be Tenable.
Yep.
Phoenix. Hold on. Nashville, you said? Nashville
Yeah.
is Tenable. Then number 7.
Sweet. Utah, Seattle, Vegas, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Columbus, blank, Nashville, Phoenix, Carolina. Or there's one more blank in that
Okay,
final
let's
4.
do that again.
Carolina.
Utah 1,
Yeah.
Seattle 2,
Yeah.
Vegas 3, Winnipeg 4,
Yeah.
Minnesota 5,
Yeah.
Columbus 6,
Yeah.
Nashville 7,
Yeah.
Phoenix,
10.
okay, Carolina 9,
Yes, you need.
which means all I'm missing is 8.
Which could be wrong.
I want to say
Let me just
it's Atlanta.
check. This is the worst Tenable ever.
Because
I
Atlanta
can't believe
was
this happened.
Was Atlanta around in the early 90s?
Oh my.
No, they'd be a mid.
Where did they move
No, they
from?
came out of nowhere because
They were a brand new franchise.
They were
they were a brand new franchise because Kelly Buckler was
It's
on
Atlanta.
the first team, so it would have
This
been 90.
list
It
is
would have
so
been like
wrong.
97.
Yeah, Atlanta was it?
Because
So-
Kelly Buckler was like on their first
We
team.
win.
So still not San Jose.
So I'll show you what I did. What happened here?
Utah, Seattle,
NHL,
Vegas, Winnipeg, Minnesota.
New teams.
Bag Milk would be losing his mind.
Yeah,
right
God,
now.
Yeah,
he's
this
not
fell
here.
apart really quick.
So the way this happened was I went on to NHL Wikipedia
Yeah.
and there was literally a list of like a full bar graph
Of-
of like when
yeah.
teams come in and everything. So I just went off that list. But that must have been pure
I don't think it
expansion?
includes defunct teams is the issue. Because the teams that you didn't list are the ones that are defunct.
Yeah, it didn't include Phoenix or Atlanta.
Yeah.
What a disappointing.
So,
Well-
Wikipedia is good because everybody can edit it at any time.
Yeah, so you looked at the Wikipedia list that
You
would have
see it?
gone Utah, Seattle, Vegas, Winnipeg, Columbus, Minnesota, Nashville, Carolina, Colorado, and
That's
Dallas.
the one.
But you missed on, okay, that's an honest mistake. 10 newest franchises that are still around.
Is that what it was?
That's what you should have
be.
put. Because that would still
Let's do
include.
that one.
San Jose.
Well, it's a mildly disappointing edition of Tenable, Liam, if I'm
I'm
being.
so pissed.
Take
we
the
gotta
new
win anyways,
Warwick
though.
out.
Warwick would be upset.
We got a
Take
big fat
Warwick
W
out
though.
back and shoot him.
We got a W.
Who was the first? I'll do a little expansion trivia.
Oh, damn it.
Who was the first round of expansion that took the NHL? This would have been 2 teams every 2 years.
What year?
Starting, 1942, with the demise of the Brooklyn Americans, the NHL's original 6 era begins. Bruins, Hawks, Wings, Habs, Rangers, and Leafs make up the league for the next 25 seasons, with the next round of expansion coming in 1967 when they added 6 teams. So they went from 6 to 12 in 67. Who were the 6, boys?
Was that the Golden Seals?
1.
Arrival.
Yes.
Thank you.
Golden Seals 1.
How many teams are not around anymore?
How many of these teams are not around anymore?
Yeah.
The Golden Seals and 1 more are not around. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are still teams.
Is the other one that's not around the? Oh
second-
fuck! Is it?
have they have
it's
a
either
team
Kansas
for the
City or
second time?
Colorado? Kansas City or Colorado?
It's Colorado.
The Rockies?
Yeah, it's Colorado.
No.
The Rockies weren't a
Was
part
it
of that.
City?
No.
Was it Quebec?
No.
No, because Quebec, Winnipeg, and Edmonton come around at the same time.
Philadelphia.
That's what I was going to
Oh,
think.
Flyers. that's
Philly's
the
one of them. You got 2 of the 6.
But I
So
guess
two of them aren't around anymore. We got 1 of them, and then the other 4 still are. We got Philly.
Pittsburgh didn't come at the same time as Philly, did it? In Pennsylvania?
I don't
No,
think so.
they come a little bit later.
Buffalo.
No.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh,
The Islanders.
No.
it's a defunct team now.
You
It's not
need
the
it-
Mavericks.
You need a defunct team, and you still need 2 more current
Oh,
teams.
sorry, I followed.
All you've got so far is Philly, California, the Golden Seals, and St. Louis.
It's not the Cleveland Barons.
No. The defunct team now has a franchise again.
Utah.
The Wyatt. No, the North Stars.
North Stars.
Yeah, Minnesota.
2 more teams that are still in the NHL.
The Utah Soakers.
Both are likely going to be playoff teams this year.
And both on the East.
1 East,
Devils.
1 West.
The Devils.
No.
Dallas.
No.
No.
Dallas. That was
a
silly.
bad- that was a bad
That was
answer.
silly too.
LA
Bad,
Kings.
yeah, I'm not
LA
mad.
Kings are 5. And the next one
I said Buffalo, right?
is not Buffalo. Playoff spot in the East.
Ottawa.
No.
Not Ottawa.
Could be anyone.
It's going to be something on the East Coast.
It's not the Panthers. It's not the Lightning.
Not them,
It's
not them.
yeah. It's
Montreal's already there.
yeah.
It's not
Boston.
Buffalo.
Then his original.
And
Boston was
Boston's
the
already
original
there.
Almost got it.
You
though.
know it's not Carolina. You've already guessed Philly.
I guess Buffalo.
You guessed Buffalo
3 times now.
Okay, so playoff team in the East. That's not Tampa, Buffalo, Montreal, Carolina,
Jersey.
Philly, or
Or
Boston.
no, Jersey's
Ottawa.
You've already guessed Ottawa. There's 1 other team, guys, that's still in a playoff spot.
You have the
Detroit.
No, they're not.
original
Detroit's
6.
not in a playoff spot in their original 6.
The New York Islanders.
Just say the other fucking team in the Metro so we can move on.
Washington.
No, they're out of the
The
playoffs.
Devils.
No, you guessed them.
Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Oh,
Jesus
you
Christ.
I said that right.
said
at the
that.
start.
Yeah,
did you?
Yeah, you brought up
Talking earlier.
Pennsylvania.
I said Pittsburgh, and then I made eye
So in
contact with Tristan.
67, they went from 6 to 12. In 1970, they added 2 more. Buffalo and Vancouver. I'm not letting you guys guess anymore. In 72, they added the Islanders and the Atlanta Flames, who existed for 8 years before they moved to Calgary in
Did the
1980.
Flames do it? The Atlanta Flames ever do anything?
No.
No, they were just bad.
Named after a
Fitted as
burned
much as
down
the Atlanta
city.
Thrashers.
Atlanta, bad sports town.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna get a third
74.
try,
Braves
though.
are okay.
The Braves don't even play in Atlanta, though. They play outside of Atlanta.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure their stadium is on like the
is it like
outskirts.
the
And they like don't really sell out playoff games anymore either. It's like pretty sad.
Sugar Jones.
In 74, the Capitals and Kansas City Scouts joined.
There you go.
In 78, they moved the Golden Seals to Cleveland and renamed them the Barons.
Yeah, that was the Barons.
They merged with the North Stars, which reduced the number of teams from 18 to 17. That's a confusing thing for the league to have done. A little retraction. Only time they've ever retracted. 79, they took 4 teams from the WHA.
Quebec, Winnipeg, Edmonton,
Hartford. And then in 91 was the next. So they went 12 years between expansion when they added the Sharks.
Where was Colorado?
Colorado.
Not the Avs, the Rockies.
The Rockies
They became the
were.
Devils.
She's a
Well, the
devil.
Nordiques moved to Colorado in 95.
Yeah, but
The
you were
Rockies
way back
moved.
then.
Oh, the Scouts only played 2 years. So the Scouts came in 74, played 2 years, and then they moved to to become the Rockies in
Who's the
76.
best defunct NHL team?
Probably the
Silver
North
Sevens.
Stars.
Minnesota North Stars.
The Ottawa Silver Sevens.
Well, that was like
A trillion years ago.
when there was like 16.
The question was asked.
Mike
and I answered it.
Badano's better than all of them.
The Nordiques had some runs, didn't they?
Not really.
the
They had
Indianapolis
a
Racers.
nice deal against the Habs all the time, but I can't. Like, I mean, they had some. The Stastny brothers were there, but they no, not really.
Oh, it's Gordie Howe's team. The one that he played until he was like
The Whalers?
54. After the WHA.
The Nordiques. Oh, that was WHA. NHL.
No,
You can't really judge it on playoffs.
they never did anything in the playoffs in NHL.
They won.
A couple series.
There's 1 year they went to conference finals. Good for them. All right. Well, probably spent enough time on that.
That was cool. I like a little history.
A little history lesson for everybody. Let's get to a little bit of betting talk, boys. It's brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Tired of waiting for the game to end to get paid? Are you ready to move on to the next puck drop? That's why Bet365, an official partner of the NHL, they have the 3-goal early payout. If the team you're riding with goes up 3 goals at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out early. Hockey moves fast, and now with 3-goal early payout, there's one less thing you have to wait around for. Bet365, download the app today and see what early payout's all about. Can I see what, or is it Boosh?
Yeah.
And the other one.
Bit of change.
Dude, you got to cash out that Boosh one.
It's not going to win.
I think there's too much smoke. The other one, too, I would be pretty tempted to do.
Yeah, I know. Tonight's a really big one.
Oh, mine went
We're
up
on
to
the cusp.
$35.
We're on the cusp. If
won
I
for
get
the
a
Oilers.
win out of the oil, like
If tonight could break your way and that to win the division cash out could be worth probably double what it is.
yeah,
The Boosh one, dude, I think there's too much smoke around Werenski.
there's actually more smoke around Bush to bring him to where he should be in the conversation. But what happens if Bush beats him by, say, 12 points? Is at 10 right now. We win the division, and the Blue Jackets don't even make the playoffs.
I don't think that'll affect Norris votes all that much.
Ooh, when was the last time a player won to Norris and didn't make the playoffs? Probably a long time.
Carlson in 23 with the Sharks.
He
He
had
was
100
minus
points,
5.
though.
He was minus 550 the other day. Now he's minus 300.
Werenski?
He's plus 28.
He's out for the year.
I know, but like,
He's
I
lost
feel
his
like
steam,
we
yeah.
got to the point in the season where it was like, doesn't really matter what happens now. Like, it's everything.
Oh, he dropped. He went from like minus 280 to 2800 in a second.
Interesting.
So some of the things, like just base level stuff people are going to use to take Werenski over Bush, plays 2 minutes more a night. Points per game is dead even. And even though Werenski's played 7 fewer games, he has 2 more even strength points, 4 more even strength goals. I think people are going to use that a little bit against him.
Yeah, that goal for
For
Bush
now.
last game helped.
Yeah, that
was
helps.
sick.
That was a sick goal.
He had a couple opportunities there too.
I would be really tempted to take that cash out if I were you, Rick.
I have been, don't worry.
Yeah, that's like a good chunk of change. It's a
was
hell of a
the
bet, though.
And missing those 2 guys on the power, like if we need to get that power play going, 2 is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah,
You're down those 2 important guys.
power play might not get going until the playoffs, though, would be my argument to that.
I agree with you there.
Tonight, the Oilers are dogs on the road against the Utah Mammoth at plus 115. Do we like Edmonton as road dogs? The one bet I like tonight that I shared on the show, Podkolzin and Savoy, still on Connor McDavid's wing. You take them each at 3 shots. It's plus 750. That's interesting.
The shot props.
Shot props are good tonight.
They've been juicy for
Yeah?
the last few games.
Yeah, I would
Utah
say so.
shoots a lot?
No, on Edmonton's side of
I
it.
understand that, but does Utah shoot a lot?
No idea. Last time they played him, I think it was actually pretty tight on shots, like 25 each or something like that. I think the only 2 players to not win the Norris and make the playoff, and not to win the Norris and not make the playoffs, were Fox and Erik Karlsson.
And the Blue Jackets have kind of like crumbled here in the last little bit.
Lost 3 in a row. Okay, but Liam, that's a pretty good sample. Like
Oh, I'm
a
just
couple pieces pretty recently then, you could
they're
say.
the only 2 though. I just think it's interesting.
The Edmonton Oilers this year, when they are underdogs, they have been underdogs 16 times this year. What do you think their record is?
Underdog 16 times this year. 5-8-3.
5-9-2. That was good, Rick. That was a good guess.
But not good enough.
He got so close it wasn't even worth having anyone else guess. But anyways, there you go. That's a little bit of betting talk for tonight, boys. Let's do a little score predictions to end the show. Our last 2 predictions, because we didn't have an episode on Good Friday, that would have been for the Seattle and the Chicago games that ended 3-0 and 3-1. Tristan correctly predicted 3-1, but he was on the wrong game. He guessed 3-1 against Seattle. It was 3-0.
Sell that there.
Everyone else thought the offense would get going. Rick was close. 4-1 was your guess against Chicago, and it was 3-1 final. So the standings still sit. Rick and Liam each have 2 wins. Reese has 2 wins, although he doesn't play anymore because he doesn't sit up here when we record, because Tristan does. Tristan doesn't have a win yet, but he only has like 5 chances to guess. Everyone else is sitting with 1. So for, I think we have, we do back-to-back games, boys. So tonight and then tomorrow against the San Jose Sharks. 7:30 start tonight, 8 o'clock start on Wednesday against the Sharks. Let's go in a reverse order than we usually do. Tristan, what do you want?
4-2 tonight.
4-2 tonight.
3-2 tomorrow.
3-2 tomorrow. Tight one against the Sharks. Liam.
I think tonight will be a 5-3 win for the Oilers with an empty net. And then tomorrow, I think they will win in overtime, 4-3.
Okay, Rick.
This evening, let's go. Yeah, I like a nice 4-2 tonight, and tomorrow's going to be a 5-2.
Dan.
I think they lose tonight 2-1 in overtime, and then they win tomorrow, let's say like 6-2.
Tonight, I will say they... I'm going to say they win 3-2, but in regulation. I'll just say 3-2 win straight up. Not regulation, not overtime. I'm just going 3-2 blanket win. And then tomorrow, I am going to say that they find a way to get the offense going a little bit. Ingram plays good. Give me a clean 4-1 win over the San Jose Sharks.
Sweat out tonight, though, eh?
Sweat it out. Sweat it out tonight. You got to work a little bit for these road wins. Looking for a 6th straight win over the Utah Mammoth. But that is a wrap on today's edition of Oilers Nation Radio. If you want a little more content, Aaron is live pre and post game, 1 hour before every game and immediately following the final buzzer on the Oilers Nation YouTube. And it's a good reminder that this playoff run, he's going to be rejoined by our good friend Devin Dubnyk. So make sure you get pre and post game into your listening repertoire here on the Nation Network. But enjoy the back-to-back games, everybody. We'll be back on Friday. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.